Whew.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of I Tell You What. Today we have our guest Vincent McGonigal. Vincent, why don't you tell the people about yourself?
Hey, how y'all doing? I'm Vincent McMonagle. I am 29. I've been married to my wife Brandy for a little over 3 years now. We've got a pretty cool daughter Aurora and our awesome son Arson. Um, Pretty cool people. I'm a full-time firefighter with Nassau County Fire Rescue. I work part-time with AmeriPro EMS doing private ambulance on the side. I have a small moving company I do on the side, and I also do any and every odd and end job that somebody will throw my way just in case it can make me a couple extra dollars.
Oh yeah,
I just about love what I do. I feel busy all the time, but it's satisfying work that I feel like I'm doing.
for sure, for sure. So, Vincent, if you can, what like pushed you towards wanting to do EMS and fire and rescue? Like, what was the motivation behind that?
So, I mean, on the obvious side, it's a lifelong job that comes with a pension, health benefits. It's that job you think of like, I can take care of my family on this and I can do it for a long time. Um, but on a more personal level, uh, my grandmother's house burnt down a couple times. And, you kind of see that process of there's a group of guys that come over, handle that business, and they're just out there to help people. Um, we lived down the road from where Grandma lives, and I've had two neighbors' houses catch on fire, and obviously didn't have the equipment then, but I did the best I could to try to get in and try to knock the fire down with garden hoses and stuff, which it didn't do much, but I just kind of found I have that passion to do anything and everything I can to help everybody that I can. And just seemed like once it was introduced to me, because I had never considered it, I had a cousin who introduced the EMS field to me, and it was like, wow, this is something that does everything I need it to do. I'd been doing these odd and end jobs for so long, no long term career plans, and then I found this, and I just instantly fell in love with it, and just can't imagine doing anything else now.
That's beautiful. And so you had that spurred you to do things. And how does that like transition into your views of things now? Like just like being on the inside of the beast. Like when you were younger, you said that you were that little kid and you seen those brave men out there taking care of that fire and taking on fires and stuff. And now you are, the brave man taking on the fires and stuff. And now being on the inside of the beast, what is your kind of reverse mirror look on things?
It's it's very humbling to be on the receiving end of it. Um, you show up to a fire, you show up to an emergency call where, for the most part, people are ecstatic to see you. You go into Winn Dixie just to get your dinner for the night, and people want to take a picture with you or come up and just shake your hand and say thank you. And it's like, just never thought I would be the person on the receiving end of that.
For sure.
It's it's humbling, and it's this very odd feeling, like you love it, but at the same time you're like, I don't do it for the warm bubblies in the stomach. I do it for the cause, and I don't know, it's definitely something I would have never imagined. It's you know you in your mind you still know you're just a normal person, but to have everybody else think of you as a hero is just surreal.
For sure. I mean, so we have America has a tragic anniversary coming up, but in 9/11 we didn't. It wasn't soldiers. It wasn't Marines. It wasn't airmen. It wasn't the Navy. It wasn't any of our military forces that were responding to 9/11. It was your brethren. It was your police officers, It was, you know, your firefighters. It was, you know, your hometown heroes,
Yeah,
and you have taken on, in my opinion, that moniker, and you're definitely a hero.
yeah. That's it's. I mean, it's just odd to be able to kind of lump yourself in with the the brothers that did do something. You know, they made the ultimate sacrifice, and you know, it's something you never want to see or do, but it's something I guess you're prepared for at all times. It's an honor to be able to say I'm part of, you know, that family. It's wild.
For sure. Uh, what are some obstacles in life that you've had coming up and to get to this point?
Oh man. Um, I mean, I have a testimony that you know I'm pretty honest about sharing with everybody. A lot of people I've met, and you know, I was advised oftentimes, you know, hey, kind of don't talk too much about that because you know it'll have people look at you a certain kind of way, and
This is free press. I own. I tell you what. I don't have no producers I gotta talk to. I
yeah,
don't have no people saying, "Hey, hey, hey, we can't do all that." So that's the greatest thing about here. You
yeah.
speak your truth, brother. Nobody's gonna
So,
judge you. If anything, you're gonna help somebody.
yeah. So I mean, that's I've always been honest to tell people, you know, I went through my rough patch. I was out of the house at a relatively young age. I'd started drinking, partying, you know, just having the best time of my life. Thought
For
the party
sure.
was going to roll on forever, and as soon as I hit 18 through 23, it was just some of the worst years. I mean, I was going through everything. I kept going to jail, just couldn't stay out for some reason. You know, it was there were four different arrests. I mean, one of them was pretty serious. The other ones, you know, the three misdemeanors that were just dumb decisions. It was, you know,
Do you
every time.
do you feel comfortable elaborating on the serious, or you don't have to if you don't want to?
Oh yeah. When I was 18, I'd got into a situation where I struck two people with my vehicle after they smashed a window out of my truck at a red light. Um, they attacked me because they were skateboarding down the middle of the road, and I honked the horn at them to let them know I was coming up behind them. And when I came to a stop at the light, I just felt glass hit me in the face, and I was trying to figure out what was going on. And they were standing in front of my truck, and they said, "Come on, let's go." So I put it in first and floored it, and they both hit the hood, hit the windshield, did a flip, and hit the ground. I mean, uh, had I just driven away at that point, I probably would not have gotten in as much trouble as I did, but I made a very poor decision to loop back around multiple times, and you know, I left the scene and then came back, and it was just, you know, you make dumb decisions when you're 18, and I just decided to go on a train of bad decisions that evening.
For
And
sure.
you know, it was a blessing. That was the first time I had been in trouble with the law, so I got out after one day. I went through 9 months of court. I was very fortunate to have a friend whose grandfather put the money up to have a lawyer represent me. And it was, you know, had he not done that, I don't think I'd be where I am today. I got in trouble a couple more times after that, and you know, I've played hell since June 22nd, 2016 was when I decided to get clean and sober, and finding jobs after you have a felony stamp on your name. You got three misdemeanors behind it, all within, you know, such a short amount of time. People assume you're a screw up, and they kind of know you have screwed up. So to get an opportunity anywhere is very difficult. I mean, the only jobs you can really get are manual labor jobs that aren't the most desirable positions.
For sure.
It's it's very difficult. So the hoops I jumped through to even get into the fire department, and I got to sit down and meet with the chiefs for Nassau to explain my situation, how I have turned my life around. But I got sober, I started a family, and I just decided, making those poor decisions. I make them fewer and fewer now. I don't make no bad decisions, but I
For
try
sure.
to make as few as possible these days.
Right.
And I was very blessed that they said they offer second chances, and I feel like I owe everything I have to them. I got a job now that all eyes are on me. The public, my chiefs, my officers, my family, my friends, everybody's looking at me to, keep me in a straight line, and I plan to do that.
For sure. That's awesome, man. Yeah,
Thank
like
you.
I say, that's powerful stuff, and I'm not gonna censor that on my podcast, man, because for what? For what reason? Like people are people, regardless
Yeah.
of. And if anything, I think our mistakes add more vibrant color to our lives, more character to our lives, and more detailed. Because you show me a perfect person, and I'll show you a boring person. Like this person has been afraid to ever try anything, be it mistake, be it reward, be it risk. They've been afraid to try anything their entire lives. They lived inside of a bubble, inside of a little cocoon. They've never ventured out into the world. And then some of the most like fantastical people in the world have made some of the biggest mistakes.
Yeah.
Hell, one of them became president. Donald Trump has made plenty of mistakes.
Yeah.
He's filed for Chapter 11 4 times. And this man, he's a former president of the United States. So,
Yeah.
there you go.
I love, it sucks to sit there and reminisce on how things used to be in my life, but at the same time, if there's even one person that is going through something similar and they think, oh well, I'll never be able to make anything of myself. I'll always work in, not to downplay dish pit and restaurants, but that's where I started off, and doing landscape, different things. Like I don't want anybody to ever feel like I'll be stuck doing a entry level position for the rest of my life. It's going to be some hurdles that you have to go through. There's going to be plenty of people to tell you no and not trust you, but if you keep your keep your mind about you and keep pressing on, do something. And it's crazy to finally understand when people say if you put your mind to something, you can do it. And
For
it's like,
sure.
oh well, I mean, you have to have certain things work in your favor, and it is a little bit of luck. But if you sit there and you really put your mind to it, I mean, you can do it. You can do whatever it is you want. There's next to no reason I should have been able to become a firefighter, and I mean, here I am today, being able to do it.
Right?
And I just want everybody to know, you know, no matter what you've done in your life, it's never too late to turn it around and do something different.
Facts.
Okay, baby, hang on.
That's beautiful. Um, so it's all good, man. Take where hey, it's all good. This is family friendly too. That's the whole part of being a dad.
Yeah.
So your life's turned around. You're on a new career path and stuff. What are some things you do to decompress to take your mind off of the hustle and bustle of everyday stuff? Like you said, you have a loaded plate 24/7. So what is some
Yeah,
you time stuff? What is some
man. Like today, I mean, I just came off of a 48-hour shift. I thought I was about to get hit with another 24 and extend it out to a third day, but my wife's at work today, so I got the two gremlins with me. So, I mean, in my downtime, we go to Boone Park. The Trinity, the church up the street from us, has this indoor playground that the kids can play in for free, and that's kind of what I do on my days off now. I got a few errands to run here and there, but for the most part, I'm gonna take my kids out and I'm gonna sit at the park with them. I know it's only a short time before they start school, and they get a little grown. They don't want anything to do with mom or dad, or they get a little more independent. So I'm just soaking up as much time as I can with them. I I used to have my motorcycles before we had the babies. That was mine and Brandy's time. We'd just jump on the bike, hit the road, and we'll put a couple tanks of gas out and just end up somewhere. And that was our happy space. Just
Right.
we had our music and just zone out. You forget all about your job and all your responsibilities.
Hell yeah.
But I mean, I'll get another bike one day. We just sold my last bike to buy this house, and I can live without that bike for a little bit. I got my family. I got a house coming up. That's the important stuff. That's what you're really going to make you happy, is to have a spot of your own.
Facts. All
Yeah.
facts. What are some secret talents that you got that the viewers and the listeners don't know about?
Oh man. As a jack of all trades, master of none, I do throw down in the kitchen sometimes, which now it's starting to become more prevalent. People find out you cook at a fire station and you're automatically voted the first person to cook a meal or something.
Oh yes, most
Uh,
definitely.
we unfortunately we don't have a whole lot of time at the station to do elaborate meals. You never know when a call is going to drop, so you can't set 4 hours aside to do all this sweet prep and all that. So the meals, they're still good. They're just not what they could be. I
They're
do,
not up to your standard.
yeah, not what I would prefer to do. I do a lot more baking. I used to do a lot more. I still do it every now and then.
For sure.
Um, I really have a passion for that. I wish I had the money to buy more ingredients and sell macarons on the side or
I'm trying to
something.
tell you, you make some mean macaroons, man.
Yeah, I wish I had. I mean, if I could just have the time to just make buttercream and just sell that, I think people would eat it up just to put it on cakes or just eat it by the spoonful.
1 billion%. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I enjoy doing, but it's just, man, making them little cookies is a tedious little process, and it is just
It's worth it.
rough sometimes.
It's
It's
worth
so
it
worth
though.
it.
It's so worth it.
Yeah. I mean, other than cooking, I do my tinkering with motorcycle mechanics. I don't know. I do a little bit of everything. If I don't know how to do it, I'm gonna hop on YouTube University and I'm gonna figure it out.
There you
So
go.
that's all. That's where most of my talents are coming from these days. YouTube just has everything.
Oh yeah. So, what are some things that we have in the fire for the future, or what are some future projects or things that you have coming up?
Oh, so in the fire service right now, I'm about to start my engineer classes, which I don't know if everybody knows. The role of the engineer is to operate the apparatus, whether it be the ladder, the engine, the rescue, or a tanker. We got a brush utility marine unit. We got a bunch of different things. So I'm about to take my classes now to be able to operate the pumps on these vehicles. Just trying to work my way through the ranks, promote up. I start paramedic school in spring semester with FSCJ.
Mm-hmm.
One of the terms of me getting hired was I had to get a paramedic license within 3 years. So that'll be a 12 to 15 month process. And I'm about 5 months into my rookie year now. So I think if I knock my engineer classes out, I'll finish paramedic school not next year, but sometime maybe 2024.
For sure.
And then by that point, I'll be able to promote to engineer full time, which will be pretty nice. I'll be able to still ride as a paramedic in the back of the rescue. I can still ride backwards as a firefighter on the engine or the ladder, but at least I'll take on that whole new responsibility of, supplying water to a fire scene versus being interior or,
Right.
fighting the fire myself.
Oh yeah. That'll
But
be
I
a.
still,
I know that'll be a weight off your wife's back. Like she'll be like,
oh
thank
yeah,
God.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'll be a lot happier, not thinking that I'm doing too much stuff. I mean, there's always the risk of just being on the job, but I hope that does alleviate a little off her shoulders, just, making it a little easier on her to sleep at night, knowing I'm not getting into too much trouble or doing anything too crazy.
For sure. Uh, so plug in, man. Where can the people locate you if they want to chat with you? If they want to just follow your career and whatnot? What's your social media?
You can find me on Facebook, Vincent McMonagle. I post a lot about my family on there. I sometimes get to share some things from work. It's kind of hit or miss with that. I have Snapchat that I get to send a lot more of the day to day life being a firefighter.
For sure.
That's I believe Mocha Bear underscore 92 there,
Beautiful
and
name.
those are my main sources of entertainment. Facebook and Snapchat there. So
For
if you
sure.
want to see what station life is like, if you have any questions, anything, feel free to message me, hit me up, let me know what you want to know about, and if I can share the details, I'll most definitely do it.
For sure. Well, that's a wrap, man. That's all I got for you today. Thank you for making time.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on.